Now the second quarter about to start. Here's Dragic. So with Williams on the bench, here's who's on the floor for Jerry Sloan. Millsap and Okur at the 4 and 5. Gaines out there with Ronnie Price and Hayward. Here is Dudley. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And here's Turkoglu from the arc. That's good. Turkoglu's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And here's Price. He's guarded by Dragic. Now Millsap. That's good, and it's Price with the assist. Millsap's got his first bucket of the night. Warwick in the posts, working on Okur. Kept alive. Here is Dudley. The second chance effort. Scooped up. Here's Childress. Finally, they get the bucket.
You can't forget about him when you're boxing out. That's what he does. He crashes the glass.
Price with the ball. Millsap, defended by Turkoglu. Millsap misses.
You got to expect more out of him here. He's had a lot of difficulty this quarter, which in turn is making it difficult for them to cut into this deficit at all.
Warwick inside. Millsap covering. Deflects the pass. And Utah has possession. It's a 10-point game. Hayward rips it down.
Man, he sure gets up there, doesn't he?
Oh, like few others, Clark. His hops are off the charts. Nice execution, too. Here's Dragic. Guarded by Price. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Utah Jazz. It's off to Oklahoma City for him after this game, so they have the Thunder to look forward to. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Here's Dragic. Off the inbound pass. Hayward corrals the miss inside. Chance now to see Goran Dragic out of Slovenia in his third season. He was acquired by the Suns in a draft day trade with the San Antonio Spurs.
Kevin, what an acquisition that was. He was one of the most enjoyable players for me to watch all season. I mean, you look at the playoff game he had in Game 3 against the Spurs, 26 points in 17 minutes. That's the most points ever in the postseason by a player playing less than 20 minutes. And I like this fearlessness. I like this composure. I like this competitive fire. Boy, he's a promising-looking player at that guard position.
Dudley against Price. Turnover by the Suns. Turnover. These are the players who had the most success from deep last season. You take a look at Dudley. A dangerous player from three-point land. A great talent with a great release.
Anytime you can shoot that high a percentage from behind the arc, that's not only a good year, that's an outstanding year. His season was rock solid from behind the arc.
Here's Millsap. That's in, coming off an assist from Price. Millsap's got his second bucket of the night. And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. And the Jazz with some changes. Andre Kirilenko's checked in for Hayward. Bell comes in for Sundiata Gaines. And Darren Williams is subbed in for Ronnie Price. Then for the Suns, Robin Lopez is checked in for Dudley. Richardson comes in for Josh Childress. And it's Nash in for Goran Dragic. Utah with a solid 31 wins against the Western Conference opponents they faced a year ago.
Yeah, and 30 wins against the West is usually what it takes to secure home court advantage in the postseason. They just fell short in the end last season of that fourth playoff seed.
And Utah has possession. Phoenix able to drain the three. Raja Bell on the wing. Richardson covering. And Millsap backing in. It's off.
They're putting bodies on bodies and cleaning up the misses.
Yeah, they're winning definitely the inside matchup right now. And as we were saying, they're doing a great job blocking out there.
You know, Kevin, rebounding is a lot about blocking out and positioning, but it's also about timing and pursuing the ball. And you've got to do all of those things in order to come up with rebounding.
That's a good point. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, when Steve Nash left the Mavericks back in 2004, a big reason was the Mavericks thought that his, quote, kamikaze spirit would wear him down physically. Nash said, "There was a time when that bothered me, but I don't feel like I have to answer to that anymore. I want to play every game, but now it's just wanting to be out there helping my team. Our training staff does a great job of keeping me healthy. And guys, at age 36, he's still going strong."
He certainly is. Thanks, Doris. Here's Okur. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist.
Well, that's a little bit of the European style of play there. When your bigs can hit the mid-range jumper, it can really open things up for everybody else.
Now, here's Nash. Here's Warwick. Phoenix, no good that time either. About 7.5 minutes left in the second. Outside Kirilenko. Got a piece of it. Here's Millsap and smashed down.
A pretty finish right there, Kevin. Take it up and then throw that thing down.
He didn't have to make it special, just get the job done.
That's right, keep it simple.
Now, here's Nash.
He got caught napping. You've got to pay attention and protect the ball.
Right side, Williams. 13 feet out. The shot is off, and it's the Suns taking it the other way. They've led by as many as 14 points. Pass to Lopez. The baseline J. Too much mustard on that one.
Smart D forced him into taking that mid-range jump shot, and as you might expect, he wasn't able to knock it down.
And here's Millsap. Here's Okur. And almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot two here. It's on Jason Richardson. Hard time for Memo last spring. He ruptured his left Achilles tendon in the first game of the playoffs last year.
Boy, what a big loss that was for the Jazz, Kevin, who got swept in the second round. They really missed his size and his perimeter shooting.
Sunday out of games. He's checked in for Utah. Phoenix also making some changes. Collins is checked in, and it's Hill and Fahito Turkoglu. Nash outside. Warwick. Millsap covering. Hill. The three. Rebounded by Mehmet Okur. You know, Clark, back to Okur, a really gifted shooter for a big man.
And a guy who is as big as he is that can stretch the defense, he would have been really valuable against a team like the Lakers. It would have forced one of those big guys to come out of the paint area.
True. And the first one at the line is good. You think about all the names that have gotten away from the Suns through draft pick sales and trades, and you have to wonder how deep this team could be, Clark, if they had kept some of those picks.
Well, I'm not one to look back, but just for the sake of argument, I mean, they sold picks that turned into Luol Deng, Nate Robinson, Rajon Rondo, and yet they still ended up with a lot of depth. So, but that's a lot of talent right there in those names I just mentioned.
And so here is Utah, following the miss by Steve Nash. Takes it up, and it's slammed in by Millsap.
Good execution on the break leads to the nice bucket.
The Suns trailing. Nash left side. Here's Collins. Blocked. On offense, here are the Jazz. They're on a 16-5 run. From the corner. Millsap misses.
When you settle for that kind of shot, that's a wasted possession. That is not a high percentage look.
Here's Warwick. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. 6 points for him.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
Games. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And I love the unselfishness. It's a joy to watch.
It bounces out of bounds after the shot. Here's what Phoenix has lined up on their schedule. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. They start a 3-game homestand with that game. Here is Gaines. About 4.5 minutes left in the half. Bell with it. Goes up, and that one's good. Millsap. Millsap's got 10 points in the game.
Boy, this is fun to watch. This guy is putting on a show right now. He's making it look really easy. Oh! And look at how he posed on the rim for a few seconds after that one. That's never going to endear you to your opponents. They don't like that kind of stuff.
No, he was enjoying that one so much he didn't want to let go.
Yeah, I think he was throwing salt in the wound, though.
And Utah has possession. The Suns getting the bucket. Outside Kirilenko. He's guarded by Hill. Now Millsap. Takes it up. Nash with some nice D. Kirilenko against Hill. And no good. But close on that one, so he'll shoot two. You think back to when he came out of college and people were saying Grant Hill was the next Jordan. His second season in the league, Clark, he averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists a game.
Yeah, he was a dynamic end-to-end player. Really was excellent at getting to the basket and creating opportunities for himself or others, and had a terrific first 5 or 6 years in the league before the ankle injury sidetracked him a bit.
About 7 years of surgery and rehabilitation.
Yeah, great to see him playing well again, though.
Both teams deciding to change it up. They rule this one goaltending. Count the shot.
No one really contested him at the basket that time, Kevin. He's just too good in there to leave the door open for him.
And Grant Hill in his late 30s, but he's in great shape. He's actually the Suns' best defensive player.
Now, how great is that, Kevin, to see a guy who was dynamic and a high flyer remake himself into a jump shooter and an outstanding defender to prolong his career.
Says a lot about him.
Yep.
Got the bucket and the foul.
Snares the offensive rebound, then sends it home.
And no problem at the line here for the three-point play.
You know, as always, the Jazz are enjoying one of the best home courts in all of the NBA, Kevin. I mean, it's just a hard place to get a win on the road swing because the fans are there on top of you, and the team is well-coached, hard-nosed, and defends its home court.
So it's Phoenix now, following the miss by Al Jefferson. It's tipped.
It's been a tough quarter right now. They can't seem to get into any kind of rhythm or flow. They just keep giving the ball away.
Yeah, just much too sloppy play so far. Clark, as you mentioned, another giveaway, another lost chance offensively. And on top of that, they're having to work more defensively.
Well, turnovers cut at you both ways. You don't get a shot, then you have to go down and play defense at the other end. I expected both teams to play well this quarter, but so far, it's been kind of disjointed. Fits and starts.
Jazz trailed by 4. Outside Williams. Backing down is Jefferson. Williams against Nash. Here's Hayward. Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession. And we've got a moment now to look at the highest scoring teams in the NBA from last season. Take a look at the Suns. Leading the league in scoring. Definitely the most high-powered run-and-gun offense in the league. The fans love it.
Well, 2 of the top scoring teams in the league, Kevin. Their numbers speak for themselves. High-octane, well-fueled, efficient offensive teams, and entertaining to boot. They're a lot of fun to watch when they're on the court.
And, of course, the Jazz. And just behind them, another team with a great scoring season. Now Williams, after Grant Hill's three-pointer that didn't go. Here's Gaines. Can't get it to fall from downtown.
Well, it's obvious they've definitely come out ahead when it comes to rebounding in this particular contest. Boxing out, good positioning, and then pursuing the pump.
Now here's Williams. Fades back. Kept alive. Here's Hayward. And good, they convert on the second chance. Here's Nash. The lead is 2. Jefferson against Lopez. Back to Nash. Jacks up the triple. Paul Millsap with the rebound.
He hasn't had the type of game that we thought we'd see. But despite that, the team is still doing quite well.
Warren gets the reach-in call. That's his third foul of the game.
Well, they've got to decide whether to keep him in there or not, Kevin. He better be careful if he's in.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Memo Okur is checked in for Millsap. Kirilenko comes in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Bell in for Sunday out of games. And the Suns making a change here.
You know, that's a good job of getting the ball down low like that. I mean, those are hard to stop from that range.
Tipped. Outside Hill.
The lob was a little misjudged, and he couldn't get control of it.
Williams passes to Jefferson. And jammed in for two good eyes and hands there, set it up.
Great vision on display there. The pass led him perfectly to the basket. That's how you do it.
Here's Hill. And again, it's the Suns missing. Utah leading. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Williams' shot is off. Now Richardson. 9 points in the game so far. Buries the step-back jumper. Richardson's got 11 points.
He's been extremely active out there, and he has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
Now here's Williams. Defense is right there. The tray. And it's Williams again missing.
We've seen some good scrambles for rebounds and even a bit of a fight sometimes. That's just good play inside, and that's kept this game close.
Tie game in Utah.
Checking out the game Paul Millsap is having. 10 points and a steal. There's been no let-up from him defensively or offensively.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Energy Solutions Arena in Salt Lake City.
And welcome. The NBA season's in its early stages. Let's get you going with the HP Halftime Report. The Jazz are making every effort to win. They're looking to get their season back on the right track with a win today. For the Suns, also a strong start. A fearsome defensive display so far. Looking at all those blocked shots, it just tells you everything you need to know about that first half. Grant Hill makes the most of his minutes. He has 8 points, been outstanding on the defensive side of the court as well, gotten the job done on the glass too. These two have both turned in some great first-half basketball, and both in line for big games if they keep it up. And that'll just about wrap things up for us. Now let's get back to your game. Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, Doris Burke, take it away.